Alright, I'm back. I didn't really do anything. The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out through. What? I need to see if Rachel was here. If she's here, she's in that, like, second room, so I need to go find something heavy to go bash down the door, the drywall with. At least that's what I think it was saying I needed to do. So I need to find something heavy. Oh wait, sorry. One of the books seemed a bit odd. I remember owning it, but not that edition. There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remember it from that trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? Yes. That noise scared me so bad. I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket. Where was she planning to go? You know, actually a lot of this is kind of correlating with what we've already seen, like the train. It mentioned the old water tower multiple times. This is actually getting really cool. I can't find anything, heavy. Is what it was saying I need to go find. I found the last missing piece of my wallet. I'll keep it. I know I've already been to this room, but I'm gonna go check this one more time. Stolen identity. Okay, so that's another trophy I got. I guess it's just me getting like all of my cards and everything back from what I've done. Okay, so I haven't been here before. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar in the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yeah, sadly. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Okay, so the crowbar I need for the basement. Okay, yeah, this is the basement. I've already checked all that. So, yes. I smashed a lot. No, wait, sorry. I was reading that in my head for some reason. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. It was Rachel down there. Was she okay? Of course, like the longest hallway. Don't look. A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them awful had made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile, to see what was laying within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, what I looked within the rags, I finally found my Rachel. Is it gonna show me? Wrapped within the filthy rags, pale and still, was Rachel. She was covered in fading brushes of what looked like cuts. Her chest was a horrible mess of blood and dirt, and I couldn't bear to look at it. A knife was in my boot. A gun was in my pocket. Where were the tools of her murder? I thought all that I had to see and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped out on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Grim Discovery. Okay, so I actually ended up sleeping, which is good. Grim Discovery was another trophy I got. Sorry if you guys didn't notice that. I keep on, like, naming the trophies. Sorry if that confuses you for some reason. Did I just walk through? Okay, no, I didn't. Oh, wait, this wasn't here before, I don't think. I still had no idea what was the tape I found in the garbage. If only I had found a way to watch it. It was the letter I had taken from the post box. Oh, okay, so did he murder Rachel? No, I don't think so. Norman ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him, but who was that? Sorry, I was trying to, like, find a way to make that sound okay with censoring that. I know it's not really a bad thing, but people don't like to hear that word sometimes, so I just don't say it. My old office staff sat on the floor, and I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. I used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I left it somewhere. I leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. In it, there were names that had been written, and we've already went over all these names. I recalled the names and saw them scratched out on that old desk deep within those murky tunnels. Was that the man in the house really up to something? Okay, so I think I just need to walk around the house and look for all the clues again to go find out who the murderer is. Was that the old photo of the other man and his wife? I assume I found that in that house. I recalled those faded remains I had found deep within the house. What had he done there? Well, what did I think? Was the man involved? Yeah, definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house, and his wife's, and the remains of his wife. He wasn't innocent, that's for sure. And I think this is just the same room I was now in. No? Okay. It was my wallet with the contents intact. Either I dropped this stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Sorry. Norman store in that forest. The water tower. Was I at those places before? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. It must have been one to lose my wallet and its contents, but what does that mean? Because you don't remember he had the website up on his computer. I'm gonna go look at this again. My laptop was dead, but I found some notes and loose papers in the drawer where I had found the keys. There were yellow sticky notes with an 8-digit code on it. Did I take it? Yes, because I already know what that code's for now. It's for that box thing. Remember he said that he had a digital code on it? I'm guessing that's what that is. All I need to do now is find the box thing, because I have no clue where that thing was. Oh, there it is. That was easy. The code I found should have let me access the safe. Did I try to open it? The code worked. I pulled open a small safe and peered inside. There was a photo of Rachel and I when we were first moved into town. In it were smiling outside of the front house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy though. Odd, I couldn't remember who took that photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. In front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess this was a good, I guess it was a good time as any. I see what inside. What? Did I open the envelope and read what was inside? I got an achievement just now called Secret Documents, by the way, just in case you guys are playing. And this, yeah. I tore open the envelope and I removed the yellow lined paper inside. On the letter written in a hand looked familiar. The letter read, "I know this whole event has probably been pretty difficult for you. I can't imagine how hard it's been for me too. Well, maybe you can. This isn't meant to be an excuse, but, well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this sound seemed like such a dream, a quiet place to get established, to live out our lives and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, you regretted into the world of yours. Retreated, sorry. Well, it was unclear you didn't need me as much. In fact, you never needed me at all, but it took all of this to make you realize, in the end, there maybe never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. Sorry. For this, I'm just sorry. It had to happen this way, Rachel. So I'm guessing that she was just trying to divorce us, and then we went on her rampage. I mean, that would be that'd be what I was thinking. It seemed like it had all. It seemed like I had seen it all. There was all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Well, I'm not personally, but maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to at least look. I personally don't want to go back into the basement, but the game said that I should, so if I wanted to end it, I could do it. I could do it with that gun. Did I pick it up again? No. Just the thought made my head spin. I left the gun in the cold basement floor. Now that I stopped there, I realized I couldn't go back into the room again. I had already seen too much. Alright. So let's just try to leave the house now. There was nothing for me anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave to never return? Yes. Leaving this town hadn't been easy. No, living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from the past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew what a final act of a long-standing horror I had been living. Walking up was the final cruelty, yeah, you get it. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in the house had something to do with this all. Could he have killed Rachel? I started to see that there were too many things that I had to think otherwise. Now that I thought of it, those sewers were terribly was a terrible mystery, sorry. What had happened there? I was lucky in the way that even find my way out of there. But I never did find my way out of what I never did find out what was on that tape that I now kept. What might it have shown me? Sorry, I'm getting like really tired and my throat's kind of hurting, so I'm not going to be able to read this too well. I had found the contents of the wallet scattered throughout town. Why had it been there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but I knew had been to had been to that forest, and even Norman's place. Well, it was terrifying. But, what? I didn't know what that meant. But at least I recovered my things. Hopefully I thought that, that would cover my tracks so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Deep within those woods, thought was where things became truly awful. Finding that notebook only made things worse. Rachel's name had been on that list. So, what terrible plot was she a part of? There was a similar list of names on the desk in the back of the tunnels. What was the connection? But going from the forest to the old plant was hardly a relief. Memories of the past. It was painful just to think of it. There was something going on there. I knew, but I was no closer to the truth. After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now I really consider it that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, how did you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man, but none of us are. But you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever had done you in this responsible for this was the other murders that happened in the town. At the very least, I could convince you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I sincerely hope you would find some peace in my friend. I knew I would never. Okay, well, I just actually skipped that. So, when I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would all end. I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disorientated as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into the house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of television, radio. The air was still. But seeing Rachel there lying ruined discarded in the basement, that that there was a horror I could never have imagined. I didn't know if I'd ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow the other man I had found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that house of his? I had to find out. Had I killed him? My condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, but I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead was a cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me, now I was lost forever. Wait, do you hear those footsteps? As I swung open the door, and as I swung open the door and stepped out into the air, I caught a scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife, just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What I do now, who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather I should run. Okay. Okay, so that wasn't really a jump scare kind of game that I'm used to in horror games, but that was more just a creepy vibe kind of game. But it was actually really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this little, I'm gonna call it like a little, like, mini-series, kind of. I thought it was a lot of fun. Congrats to all these guys who made this game. It was actually a lot of fun to play. I definitely recommend it. It's only about $5. Oh god, okay, sorry, that was my phone. So, one second, I'm gonna call him back later. Okay, so there was another jump scare in the game, I guess. Probably should turn that off. But anyway, see you guys next time, and yeah. Tell me if you like these kinds of indie horror games. I'll try to find some more, but no promises, you know. Anyway, that was Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. See you guys next time.